Hey, what's up? It's Corbin Harris here. I am in management and consulting at the Family out of New York City, and welcome to a decade in Convicts.
Take us just down memory lane, Corby. And I don't know when the last time you saw the film that we made kind of in the beginning, before our official launch of you kind of skating through New York. I don't know the last time you saw it, but what's your memory of it? You know, the first time you watched it, what did it make you feel, and what was it about in your opinion?
So that's a great question. I feel like, how did it make me feel? It felt like it made me feel extremely small in a massive city because of the large scale of it, and maybe the way that it was shot as well. You know, we were shooting, you guys were shooting from, five-story buildings, shooting from extremely long way away, close-ups. Like, I think it just gave like a really big energy to the city. And I think the really funny thing is now, like living in New York for a few years now, or America for 16 years it's been, but New York for the last 3 or 4, is that the way that I see the city now compared to the way that I saw the city then, like everything's so small downtown New York now. And I know that place in the West Village, and I know that place in Tribeca. Like, I felt like I didn't know anything at that point. And I feel like now I'm just like strapped with all the information that I need and know. And I think for me, if I had to put it simply, it reminds me of a point in time of when I came to the city and I was introduced to something like beautiful. And New York's anyone who asks me, and you guys know this already, New York's one of my favorite places on earth. Whether I'm going to be here for the rest of my life or not, I don't know. But it's just such a special place to all of us. So I think it was really nice for me to know that there is a bit of content out there that I think holds its worth a decade later on, because I still think that piece is cool.
I think skateboarding in New York City is probably one of the most difficult cities because you're bearing all elements. It gives you a feeling of freedom, but you're still sort of captivated inside this huge concrete monstrosity. It's one of those cities where people are so tough, they'll walk in front of you on a skateboard. Any other city in the world, they will freak out, they'll hear the wheels coming. I think this is one of the only places in the world that I still enjoy skating through the streets. Every time I arrive in New York, I have that feeling like I did 10 years ago. That excitement, the thrill of you never know what's going to happen next. I think the best thing about skating through places like this is you don't think at all.
Yeah, I think that, that idea of kind of you had a career in skateboarding and sort of professional skateboarding, and that required sort of, a certain type of performing, right? High performance and sort of, what we made together was kind of, skateboarding just at its most pure kind of migration to and from. But it also, what I thought was cool in what you said was like being in New York, it's about like paying attention and the perspectives you look up, you look down, wherever your vision is, you experience a city in a different way. And that was something that sort of, it lasts a long time, still experiencing New York City in different ways, whether it's walking, riding a bike, like skateboarding, looking out the window of a subway when it's kind of cruising above ground. Like, so it was kind of like a bit of a poem to New York City through, you know, your kind of love of skateboarding, but kind of stripping away, you know, what you said was timeless, which is like, it is timeless because you were just, you know, pushing through the city and exploring it. And we were playing with perspective. So it's still one of our, I know, Pete, you know, you probably feel the same way. It's kind of like, it is timeless is the best way to describe that, because like you could play it now and it feels like we shot it yesterday.
And I think the one thing I'd like to add to that is that at that point in time, if you were there in New York or even in sports and skateboarding, nobody was really doing like art pieces like that or short films that were really beautiful. People weren't. So I think that's why I was really attracted to it, is like people were so about the core. And if you stripped away from the core or led another direction, it wasn't cool, because this was the same time as like, it was around the same time as like Dylan Reader would maybe got the DKNY commercial with Cara Delevingne on the New York City cab. You know, Evan Mock hadn't happened. He was still a 5-year-old kid. Like none of, you know, Deshaun Johnson wasn't doing Louis Vuitton. Like this was before a time. So I think I've always been really proud of that piece and really just loved that piece. Because not only was it just personal to me, but then I think it was like, it was pushing the boundaries in the industry as well. And whether some people in the core industry liked it or not, because there wasn't any like core skating, I think that's why it's held the test of time as well, because it wasn't just one of those pieces. But it's kind of, if that makes sense.
No, the other funny thing that makes me think of too is like, we probably wouldn't be able to make it today because we'd overthink it. We'd be like, oh, not the right cameras. We haven't scoped it. No one's thought about that shot. What's the weather going to be? Like, the reality is, like, we probably planned it the night before. You showed up, gave us a couple of hours of your time. We rolled for, like, I'm the worst camera operator going around, and I think I had a camera in my hands that day. You know, like, we just did it.
Appreciate you, Corby.
Right now we're on the east side of Harlem. We are self-made riders. We are a bike crew who are just trying to get kids together, keep them off the streets in a positive way.
This is city life, and girl, you're worth it. This is city life, high rise, we perfect.
We're from all different boroughs. I'm from Harlem. He's from the Bronx. He's from Brooklyn. He's from Far Rock. We're all from different type of boroughs. We're not just from one place. So us New Yorkers, we show love. You're never alone in New York. Never.
What's it like being a New York local?
Everyone wants to be from New York. Everyone wants to come to New York, and for you to be from New York and be in New York is an awesome thing for us, because at the end of the day, no matter where we go, we get known just because of us being a New Yorker.